This is the On to Mark Wrestling Podcast. Kick back and hang with your hosts, Kayode, Lewis, and Joel. Let's mark out.
Baby. On the Mark Wrestling Podcast coming at ya. Three-man band's back. The fellas are live. The producer, the administrator, the hater himself, all under one roof. Fellas, what's going on for this episode 124? I see Lewis got the WrestleMania jersey joint going on with the AEW hat co-branding. I like it. We don't pick and choose here. We're equal opportunity. We go both. We celebrate both. We hate on both. That's how we do it on the Mark Wrestling Podcast, fellas. What's going on with y'all tonight?
All in the name of the love of pro wrestling, gentlemen. We love pro wrestling for all the good, the bad, and the ugly.
That is true. And to kick this off, fellas, episode 124, let's get into a little bit of the ugly because we got right here.
Oh man,
Rhea.
Oh man,
and Jade. We thought they were besties. We thought they were homegirls. But it looks like it ain't like that no more. Is this a work or is this a shoot? Who knows? But the Twitter war, the X war, the Instagram war got a little personal. Got a little bit touchy. And your girl Rhea wasn't feeling it at some point. And, Jade has done this before, where she's attacked or gone after someone on social media, all for the name of what we think is the story. But maybe some of this is built into some truth. Fellas, what's your thoughts on Rhea and Jade, not only just at Mania, but what they're going for, if this is a work or a shoot? Do you think it's a work or a shoot? Fellas, where do you lie with this? Where we got two of the biggest names, not two of the Rhea is the better performer, obviously, but two of the bigger names in the women's division. What's happening here, man? Are we getting worked? Lewis, what do you think?
I think we're getting worked, to be honest. I think they're just doing this to add some elements of realism, and there probably is a professional rivalry, but I think for the most part it's a work. I just find it a little too convenient that all of a sudden all this stuff is coming up between the both of them and how they're taking jabs at one another right before their match at WrestleMania. I think the timing is a bit convenient. So I'm going to stick with it's a work. I'm not saying that they are besties and they hang out outside of the ring, but I don't think that it's as fiery of a feud as they're making it out to be. I could be wrong, but I think it's all part of building up some intrigue for WrestleMania. Because think about it. The match itself, we're talking Jade here.
Right.
Jade is not a very good worker. Yeah. She's got everything else going for her. The look, the presentation, the mic skills, the confidence, but the in-ring work, so you think about it on paper, Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill is not going to be a great match. What it's going to have to be is a good story leading up to WrestleMania.
Yeah, I agree. That sounds about, it's going to have to be a good story. And this is leading into some like Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte territory, right? That's
what reminds me of.
We're kind of seeing, some stuff go down that, is questionable in terms of can they produce a good story in the ring and leave all the nonsense? Can they do business? That's the big question. Joel, can they do business? What's your thought?
Man, if this is a work, it's lazy booking, in my opinion. Because what does it have to do with actual pro wrestling? What we see on the TV screen every Monday, every Friday, whatever day of the week that you watch wrestling. What does the tweets that they were doing have to do with that? I feel like it's too in the weeds. It's too WWE Unreal coded. I don't like it. If it is a work, I don't like it. If it's a shoot that turns into a work, maybe something like that I could see. But it's just lazy to me, man. Like you said, that we had the Charlotte Tiffany thing. We don't know how much of that was a work or shoot. It was part of Unreal, so that they kind of like retconned it into being a work. And I just feel like, so like one of the tweets that Jade said was like, you hang out around creative all day or whatever, like saying that she's like kind of politicking or whatever.
She's a stooge.
Like if
for
you're
creative.
saying, yeah, if you're saying that, then where's the work there? You know, like at that point now we're getting too into the reality of it. It almost becomes like late stage WCW when Vince Russo was like, that's not on the script or whatever, you know. Like, do we really want to get to that point? Are we really there? Is that the stage of WWE that we're in? I really hope not. So I'm hoping this was maybe something that Jade tried to like start as a work, and then it got too real, and then turned into a shoot. I don't know, but it just feels sloppy to me. Like, she just won the Chamber. Why don't we just let them have an actual in-ring segment before we start doing like this weird Twitter beef? Like, right? I don't know. So I'm hoping they could salvage it right now. But so far, I'm like, oh, that's a weird way to start this. Like, you just having Jade and Rhea do a stare off. They don't even need to talk. Would have been better than whatever this is. Like, I don't know. So I'm hoping it's a shoot that they're gonna fix up and make into an actual story. Because right now, I gotta say, there are no actual stories leading up to WrestleMania. It's just I don't like you in real life. You don't like me in real life. That's the same thing happening with CM Punk and Roman Reigns. Same thing happening now with Rhea and Jade. The only actual story is Liv and Stephanie. And even that is all about like weird, like behind the scenes, I did this longer than you. I just want some traditional wrestling stories where like, I don't know, someone hits someone with a car. Let's go back to like crazy attitude era stuff. Like, you know, like right now is all this reality. Hey, you're on Netflix because of me. No, you're on Netflix because of me. And I'm like, man, this is a TV show. Let's not forget that it's supposed to be a TV show. Yeah, like, I don't tune into Stranger Things and Eleven's like, you guys are on Netflix because of me. You know, I don't tune into Game of Thrones and they're like, we're on HBO because of me. Like, no, I want it to be a TV show at the end of the day. This whole reality mixed in thing, it's not for me, man. Like, let's keep it to wrestling. We don't need all the outside of wrestling theatrics. That's just my opinion.
I feel you. And I think what's happening here, fellas, is that WWE is trying to go too meta with this and trying to bring in real story, or not even real story, but just kind of dredge up beef for trying to use the real animosity for these people that they might have for each other and bring it to the ring and make that the story, since they're creative, don't know how to create stories right now. Like they're all on autopilot. It seems like they're just waiting for Saudi. That's what it looks like. We ain't going to get nothing until Saudi happens. And that's what it kind of looks like with this Mania. So big up to the people who are refusing to buy the tickets. They ain't going, they ain't paying the $5, and the rent's too damn high. So they ain't doing none of that. So we'll see what happens with this Jade and Rhea beef. But fellas, man, we got to give some props to none other than Penta himself, who has won his first title in WWE. Give it up to Penta, y'all. Long time coming. Thanks to Fightful for the article. The guy here, Penta defeats Dominik Mysterio to become new Intercontinental Champion. And, I'm glad they didn't rush this. I'm glad it's now. I'm glad they didn't just throw a title on him within the first couple of months of him joining the company. And this one felt good. This one felt like, okay, this is well-deserved. This was aligned in the stars to happen. Penta was going to become a singles champion at some point. I just wonder how he's going to, who's going to be the lineup for the people he may take out in terms of his opponents? Like, what stories, right, or who do they have that's going to be credible or entertaining to go against a Penta? Fellas, what's your thoughts on Penta becoming the new intercontinental champion? Joe, what you think, man? Big moment?
Yeah, man. I thought this was cool, man. Like having, like you could tell that this is something Penta has wanted for a long time. His emotion comes out in the ring. You could tell he's very happy where he is. So I'm happy for him. I thought it was a cool way to. I'm not the biggest Danhausen fan, but it was a cool way to reintroduce him to the audience with the whole cursing of Dom Mysterio. It is what it is. It's not for me, but I understand that the humor is for those people that find it funny. But Penta is one of the best workers in the world. So anytime that he has a title on him, I have faith in him putting on bangers. I think what we're gonna see is probably some type of equivalent to what we see on SmackDown with Melo and the US title, where he's just putting bangers on every week. And I think it's something that Raw needs, because for the past couple of weeks, I've been consistently watching Raw, and they have around 4 to 3 matches every week, and 2 out of the 3 end in disqualification or some type of schmaz. So like, let's get one person on the roster that gets to actually just wrestle and showcase that they are good at wrestling every week. And I'm happy with that, because at a certain point, I want to see actual wrestling on the show. And
Of course.
when it's just 3 matches and 2 of them is like the Grande Americanos schmaz, and then the other one is the Uso schmaz with Theory. And it's like, all right, we're going to get one actual match on a 3 hours, 2.5 hour show, whatever it is. So it's like, at least this way you have a consistent worker that you could just throw out there with anybody, and he's going to put on a banger. So hell yeah, shout out to Penta. I think it's like you said, I think it's around the right time. I think it's been about a little over a year since he debuted. So I think they slow walked it. They made him, a big major part of the show. And now he's the IC champion, which traditionally is the workhorse championship.
Definitely.
So hopefully we get back to that point where we're just seeing bangers every week.
How about you, Lou? You happy for your boy Penta?
Yeah, I'm very happy. I've been watching Penta for a long time, for over a decade, actually. It takes me back to the Lucha Underground days. And it's almost like everything comes full circle for him. I would have liked to have seen this type of success where he was in AEW, but look, this is the spot that most pro wrestlers thrive for, is to win a championship, a prestigious title such as the Intercontinental title in WWE. And he's doing it on Raw, on Netflix, in front of a global audience. The only thing I would have changed is probably saving that moment for WrestleMania, so that you could build it up a little more and have the celebration mean that much more, because he's chasing it. So this kind of almost felt like it almost felt like it came out of the blue a bit with the title win. So that would be my only critique. But other than that, it was a good moment, good celebration. Like Joel said, Penta is one of the best in the world, and it's time for WWE to start booking the Intercontinental Championship again, like the way it should be, which is the workhorse title, the title that elevates the mid card folks into, well, it catapults them into the main event scene, because that's what the Intercontinental Championship is supposed to be. And in some cases, the Intercontinental Championship is like the main event, or we're talking, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, right.
But I do enjoy what they've been doing with Carmelo Hayes and putting on great title defenses every week on SmackDown. So I want to see something like that with Penta, with the IC title on Raw. But good for him, man. I've always been on the bandwagon of Cero Miedo. I think Penta's always been a cool character. He's got a good look, great worker. So I'm happy for him. And his English is pretty good.
Yeah, he's not bad. Yeah. He's one of the better ones in the company.
Yeah,
actually. But now if you're booking Penta right after this Intercontinental title win for next week, who do y'all put him against? Who do y'all start him off with? Who do y'all start a program with that could actually be an entertaining story somehow? Who y'all going with?
Maybe Logan Paul.
Ooh.
Give Logan Paul something else to do outside. I know he's right now focused on the Vision stuff, but hey, why not? Start with someone who is a recognizable name who can work, and just go from there.
I don't hate the Logan Paul. How about you, Joe?
Yeah, I never thought of them two together, but yeah, that would be an interesting match to see. I think you could also, like, if you want to continue this Judgment Day story, you could put him against JD or Finn Balor. It is interesting though, like you mentioned, if they should have waited to have this title change on Mania, Lewis. But I'm thinking now, like this Mania card, the undercard, how are they gonna fit all these people onto this card? Like there's a lot of people, and I don't see any direction for anybody besides like the main title matches right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be interesting to see if we're gonna see a bunch of like multi-man matches, probably
matches, for sure.
for the mid-card titles. And now you have the addition of the women's mid-card titles as well. So I want to see how everything gets booked once we get closer to Mania, because we're a little bit over a month to go, and it doesn't seem like there's any direction for anybody besides Roman, Punk, and the other title matches. But everything else is like up in the air. So I do want to see, maybe I hope we get some type of story for Penta, but I don't really have faith this close to Mania. So I think we'll end up doing some type of multi-man, maybe ladder match or something for the IC title.
I can see that.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. What's this undercard gonna look like, especially on the women's side with all the U.S. title, the Intercontinental? I mean, you probably have Becky and AJ run it back again, but I mean, there are a lot of people you got that WWE has that you can throw in there, but like Joel said, there just seems to be no path to get there in a meaningful way with any of them, unless you throw them in multi-man matches, like which we will get on both nights. We'll get some multi-man matches somehow, because they're going to want to try to fit everybody on the active roster onto the show. And what's the best way to do that without having a 9-match card is do multi-man matches, and 5-on-5s, 3-on-3s, 4-on-4s. Who knows? But we'll see what Mania looks like and what happens with Penta. Maybe Logan is the next guy to step up to Penta. Maybe Logan shifts gears and focuses on the Intercontinental title. That would be a great program, actually, if they could do it right. Mm-hmm. That'd be really, really, really solid. But fellas, I gotta tell you guys something, man. I had to go off the beaten path for a second, because today your boy has a little something that he needs to get off his chest, which brings me to the return of the Haters Club, man.
It's been a long time.
We got about it, and I need to know how y'all feel about it. The name I'm going to bring up tonight, this edition of the Haters Club, and there hasn't been a lot of inductees with it. We've been on a look forward that we've been doing, we've been chilling. But this time, fellas, I'm going to put the guy on the screen.
Who gets the VIP entry into the Haters Club?
This is a VIP entry into the Haters Club. Yo would probably definitely disagree with me, but I got to put Dom Mysterio in there.
Whoa. Oh, fuck.
And I gotta put Dom Mysterio in there. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why, fellas. Dom Mysterio has been on autopilot for months now, and I know he was injured. I know, some setbacks or whatever, but your boy just feels like, to me, at this moment, there has not been much growth in his professional wrestling aura. And what I mean by that is character, in ring, and on the mic. On the mic, you can't tell me that he's just monotone, one note. There's no reflection in the voice. There's no emotion in the voice. There's nothing that tells you that he's changing his thoughts, or he's changing the way he's thinking in terms of how he's delivering lines. Also, guys, fellas, just stick with me on this one. Is it me, or is Dom just not that good in the ring? He's just not. Penta exposed a lot that match, and I was watching that match, and I was saying to myself, Dom ain't great. And the reason why we have been so high on Dom is because, you know, the reaction he's getting back from the crowd is pure red hot heat for a heel, which is great. But it's like almost, you know, it started off as go away heat. Now it's sort of like, Dom is annoying, you know, we can't stand you kind of heat. But that's kind of been it. Like, he's been with the Judgment Day. He's had all the baddies, like Joel said. He can't have no more baddies. No more. We can't have
Please
them,
no.
right? But his delivery on the mic kind of just falls flat for me. And there's really nothing else really interesting that he's doing. I mean, he's the inductee into the VIP section, but should he just get general admission, or should he be in VIP? I don't know, but I'm just saying, Dom right now, he ain't doing it for me, man. And there's a lot of talent here that you can mold into a big time, like, scummy heel. And he was that for a little while, but now it's just like he's just kind of coasting. There's nothing going on, and that might be what Joel's talking about. There's no story, so there has been no development in anything he's been doing. Fellas, where y'all at with Dom Mysterio, man? Did I jump the gun with Dom? Is it too much? Lou, what you think?
You may have jumped the gun a little bit, just a tad bit, but I do see what you're saying, Kayode. I hear you. I'm sticking with you on this one. So let's talk about Dom's in-ring work. I never thought Dom was sensational. I never thought he was a great worker. I think he's decent at best. He can put on a decent performance with the best of them and most people on the roster. But he's no Eddie Guerrero. He's not his dad. His move set is very basic at best, and I think when he executes his moves, it still comes across at times like he's training to be a wrestler.
Yes.
Versus him. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, he still comes across like a developmental wrestler versus a prime time main roster pro wrestler on Raw or SmackDown or what have you. Now, character wise, what's gotten Dom over up to this point was because he's got the sleazeball thing. He's always got a different baddie. I'm saying always, but it's just been Rhea and Liv. I think, but I do think that we have to show him a little bit of grace because he was off TV for about 3 months, I think, and he's just kind of getting his footing again. I don't know. I think Dom is good for what he does, but I don't know if he has a higher ceiling than what he's currently doing. There's just something missing for me with him. I like him. I think he's charismatic, but I don't know how much higher you can go with Dominik Mysterio. But because we're talking all this shit and inducting him into the Haters Club, he's most likely going to win Money in the Bank later this year.
Oh, that's a good prediction right there.
That's a good Money in the Bank.
Because we're running our mouths and we seem to struggle with knowing our role, he is going to win Money in the Bank. Watch.
Money in the Bank. Joel, where you at, man? Is Dom winning Money in the Bank, or is he staying in VIP, or are you going to move him down to general admission? What do you think?
First of all, I got to quote the great Booker T.
Oh.
Because when you were spewing that nonsense right now about Dom Mysterio, I could just think, tell me he didn't just say that. Tell me he didn't just say that. You are bugging, Kayode.
I'm bugging.
You know what's funny? This is perfect. Actually, this is the perfect take that you just threw on my on my plate, because I had some feedback today from a fan, a loyal fan, loyal listener. Shout out to Ben. He hit me up and he was like, love the show, but you guys all agree too much. That's what he told me.
Oh,
and I'm like, perfect, because right now I do not agree with you at all. Dom Mysterio is the future of WWE. If they drop the ball with Dom Mysterio, then it is all on the company and it is not on Dom at all. Because I do agree that he has been a little stale as of late, but I don't think that's his fault at all. I think this is all creative. This is all booking. I think they have lightning in a bottle with Dom Mysterio, and they have. This is also something that WWE tends to do, where they do not strike while the iron is hot. I don't know why they don't. They refuse to do it. It's like they don't know how to pivot or something. But like, you have not only Dom Mysterio, but that's a great example. But you have a Trick Williams, you have a Oba Femi, you have these great guys, young guys coming, and everyone, you hear it all the time. All of them in their podcast, the WWE produced podcast, when they mention these guys, they always say, "Oh yeah, they're going to be main eventing WrestleMania in 15 years."
Right?
Why do we have to wait 15 years when someone is as hot as Dom Mysterio? Dom Mysterio, with the right story, could main event a WrestleMania right now. With the right story. I'm not saying right now at this moment with what's happening, but he is the most hated guy on the show. People love to hate him. People want to see him get beat up. He has that Floyd Mayweather effect where people will pay to see him get beat up with the right story. They just haven't tapped that story. The closest we got is the Rey Mysterio, Dom Mysterio thing, where they were going to, where Rhea and him were terrorizing the Mysterios, going to their house, all that. That was the closest we got to it.
Yeah.
And then they blew it in a cinnamon toast WrestleMania match for some reason. But besides that, we haven't seen Dom get to sink his teeth into a story where it's just him. No Liv Morgan, no Rhea Ripley. So I think there is a lot of potential there with Dom. I do agree with the fact that you're saying he's gotten stale. I do think he does need to work a little bit in his in-ring stuff. I do see what Lewis mentioned of him almost being like a NXT trainee PC wrestler. And it might be because he never really got that time to train. He kind of went straight to the main roster because of who he is, you know?
Yeah.
He is Rey Mysterio's son after all. So he did get that like nepotism push to the main roster. So maybe he did miss out on like what, like for perfect example, Trick Williams is a star. He came up to the main roster as a star. He got
Williams.
He got like 5 years in developmental to do all the stuff. He was a heel. He was a babyface. He was in a tag team. He was the North American champ, NXT champ. Hell, he was a TNA champ. So like they did everything with Trick to the point where he came up to the main roster. He's a polished star. You don't got to do anything with him. You can shoot him right to the main event. Yeah. With Dom, he kind of had like a weird path to now where he is kind of just there in a weird way. But I will say something that I've noticed as well, when you're talking about his promos, he does have one tone, one cadence. I think he does need to work on that. It's funny too, because if you see his work on AAA, where he's talking Spanish,
it's better.
He has it locked. Like, it's better. Incredible. He has the crowd in the palm of his hand. He knows. So it might be something there where he's just not comfortable, or maybe he has more freedom in AAA where he could kind of say whatever he wants because people backstage don't know what he's saying. But he might be suffering from something that I think Rhea Ripley also suffers, where they are trying to remember that script. Yeah. And it's like you could kind of tell that they're trying to remember that script no matter what's happening. But I have faith that Dom, when it's all said and done, will be a main eventer one day. That's where I'll leave it.
I don't see now. I'm gonna disagree. This is like a triple threat match that we're having right now. So I'm gonna disagree with that. I don't see WrestleMania main events for Dom. I think he's great at what he does, and who knows? I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope he does prove us wrong. And I like Dom, and I'm one of those people that love to cheer him on, or rather love to hate on him, because he is one of the most charismatic aspects of the WWE crop of talent currently. But WrestleMania main event, I don't see it. I do not see it with him. I see it with Trick Williams. I see it with Obafemi. I see it with, hell, even Stephanie Vaquer. But with him, like WrestleMania main event, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Lewis. I don't know about that, man. I think it was all the hype of Dom catching on to the business fast and being Ray's son, and it coming and him catching heat so quick in a natural way. I think all of that, and of course the chemistry him and Rhea had, was just great. So I think he just had a lot of opportunities to where that stuff was heightened because they were really pushing him. But like Lewis said, man, I see a Trick Willie, the lemon pepper steppers coming down that aisle, winning the title or something like that in the near future. Your boy Trick Willie is he's the best crossover from NXT that we've seen in a very long time. That's instantly hit it with the crowd. And of course, in part for the theme, and it's so catchy, it kind of goes with like the vibe, like, whoop that trick, and the song itself, it just flows well, right? So it's a good, but even when he's in the ring, the crowd's still cheering him, and he's still charismatic, and he's got this aura, this vibe. Out of all the guys, I would have thought that would have crossed over and be something when they got to the main roster. I don't know if I thought it was going to be Trick Willie. I think I had my money on. I had my money on Carmelo Hayes for a minute. I thought he was going to come over and dominate and just be the personality, but not quite. His tag team partner, Trick Willie, looks like he's that guy. He's him. It looks like he's him.
Yeah.
So, we'll see how this develops with Dom. But what did you have anything else to say, Joe?
Listen, if he never main events a WrestleMania, at least he'll main event a Triple Mania with Triple A. So I'll take that as a consolation prize.
I know, right? Look, he's gonna win Money in the Bank. I'm telling you, man. We've already jinxed
wins Money in the Bank.
I'm speaking it into existence. He wins Money in the Bank.
All right, maybe
he cashes in that same night.
Let's change the topic then. Maybe not main event WrestleMania, but do we see him as a world champion?
A world champ.
Or WWE, whatever, the top title, whatever it is.
Fuck, I don't even know what the fuck the other title is called on SmackDown. What is it called? The WWE Universal Heavyweight Undisputed title? Is that what it's called? Jesus
It's the
Christ.
WWE Undisputed Champion, even though there is another champion, so it is disputed. I don't know why
it's ridiculous.
I don't know why they called it that.
Joe, I'm gonna say no.
Wow.
I don't see Dom as a world champ. Either belt.
I see it.
I think I see it, but I think I see it in either Money in the Bank or some type of shenanigans. I don't see him just straight up winning the title.
Yes, okay. Yeah,
but
fair enough. I don't see him just straight up winning a title.
I would really like if they booked him. I want them to book him like the way they did Edge as the ultimate opportunist, because that fits his character so well.
Hey.
And props to Edge. I love Edge, man. But that's what it would work so well. Have him just tease winning, cashing in his briefcase week after week, and not, it doesn't have to be consecutive weeks, but have him tease it over the course of a few months, and then finally just on some sleazeball shit where you get like someone who's really over and gets their moment, and then have him come in and just sweep the rug from under their feet. I think that would generate so much heat, and it would work perfectly for him. So I think if he's going to win a world championship, it would be under those circumstances, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a great way to do it. You get someone who like the crowd has been waiting to become the world champ, like a LA Knight or a Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they get that title, you hear Dirty Dom's music out of nowhere. There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
I could see that. That I can see for sure. But if we don't get there with that, then that means the company has lost all hope in what they can do with Dom. He needs to be. Listen, in my opinion, Dom needs to hold that world title before he main events at WrestleMania. I mean, if he's going to be the fulfilling prophecy of whatever they think he could be in terms of being his dad or being as good, but just in a different role, he's got to hold the world title, right? So if he does, it'd probably be in one of those type of gimmick matches where, you know, he cashes in and LA Knight finally makes it to the mountaintop. He doesn't slip off the mountaintop.
I would love that.
He makes it to the mountaintop.
He slips off the mountain.
Damn.
And then he slips off the mountaintop.
Shots fired.
And then here comes Dom and pins him 1, 2, 3. Wouldn't that be? If I was LA Knight, I'd retire. I put in my 2 weeks notice immediately. If that happens to me, where they book me like that, like I lose the same night. I'm 55 years old. What am I doing? Like, you serious? I lose the title in 40 minutes.
This is a double hater club right here. LA Knight catching strays.
Yeah. Sorry, man. Your boy. Listen,
Shit, man.
how embarrassing to slip off a top rope. I get that. That's
For one special right here.
That's a difficult maneuver to do. But if you can't successfully do it close to 100% of the time, then don't do it. And especially in a spot like that. I mean, come on, bro. Like, are you serious?
I know that's a big spot to be botching.
We ain't talking like a house
like
show. Your boy, he's on the PLE. He's on Netflix. He's on ESPN. The mouse is watching, and he saw him slip.
The mouse is watching.
Mickey was like, "Yo, this dude's whack. I can't.
Holy shit.
I can't root for this."
You going harder at LA Knight than you did at Dom.
Sorry, LA. I'm sorry.
LA Knight got the VIP special. He skipped the line.
Yeah. I think Dom just got the general admission. LA Knight, he got the VIP section and ordered bottle service in the Saders Club.
VIP all to himself.
He got the sparklers and everything.
Oh my God.
He's got the sparklers. Yeah, I'm sorry. LA. I didn't mean to go that hard on you, bro. But, I'm just saying.
That was a good laugh.
But anyway, fellas, I wanted to get to a special segment tonight, a WrestleMania throwback, and you know we have our administrator himself, who is a master at dates and remembering title matches and who main evented what. I'm horrible at it. You'd be lucky if I could tell you who main evented 4 years ago. I don't remember, but thanks to the administrator, I don't need to. And this year, or this show, episode 124, we're going to hit up WrestleMania 17 main event, Rock and Austin. What some people like Lewis is saying is the greatest WrestleMania main event match of all time. Lou, talk to us about this, Matt. Talk to us about. I would put up a clip, but they're going to take this video down immediately if I do. So just walk us through this and talk to us about this match, brother. Why is WrestleMania 17 Rock Austin the best?
Well, listen, WrestleMania 17 is absolutely legendary. You know, we can literally spend a whole entire episode talking about it, and it is arguably by many, almost unanimously to a certain degree, WrestleMania 17 is considered the greatest WrestleMania pay-per-view event ever, and for good reason too. Because I was recently revisiting it, and it never gets old when you watch it. It just flows really consistently in terms of the pacing, and the sequencing of the matches. There's something for everybody in that WrestleMania. You got to remember, this is early 2001. This is the peak of the Attitude Era. You got the who's who, Undertaker, Triple H, Angle, Austin, Rock, Jericho, Benoit. I had to put his name out there, but Eddie Guerrero, you name it, right? So, and then it helps that the pay-per-view event itself had an electric crowd the whole entire night. Shout out to Houston. That's the one. That's if I had to pick one WrestleMania to be in attendance for, it would be that one. But going back to that WrestleMania having a little bit of everything for everybody, you had great technical wrestling, you had hardcore wrestling, of course, you had TLC 2, you had the drama, the high stakes, you had like just all of it, and that's why you'd be hard pressed to find reasons to nitpick and critique and be like, nah, this WrestleMania is overrated, or this doesn't deserve all the props. That's like one of those WrestleManias where if you know, like if you lived as through that time and watched that WrestleMania and you were a WWF fan at the time, then you know just how colossal it was. For me personally, it's number one. I would say WrestleMania 19 is a close two. That's we can dive into that at another episode. But the main event itself, gentlemen, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is their second WrestleMania encounter. This time it's different from 1999 because now they're both baby faces, the two biggest stars in the industry at the time. Why I still consider this my favorite WrestleMania main event, personally, is because it's also the most heartbreaking wrestling match I have ever seen. And it's still heartbreaking at the age of 37. I am a Rock guy. I've always been a Rock guy. I'm an Austin guy too, but Austin was always number two for me. And I'm not. I don't hate the fact that The Rock lost because it was predictable. You knew that Austin was going to win. It's just so heartbreaking in a kayfabe sense. The child in me is like, why did Austin have to win the way he did, bashing Rock with consecutive chair shots from the help of his arch nemesis, the fucking top feud of the Attitude Era? Like, this is how you do my man Rock? And everything was just perfect, and they never slowed down that match. There is never a slow moment. Like, even when they're blocking each other in the sharpshooters, Austin has said this in interviews, Rock has said this in interviews. They both brought out the absolute best in each other. And Stone Cold can't put his finger on it, but he's like, there's just something about that guy that I just always brought my A game. And this match encapsulates it. They went a half hour, and it was just intense from start to finish. Is it the greatest technical wrestling match? Absolutely not. But it had everything. And JR's commentary, chef's kiss, cherry on top. He just sold everything so well during that era. But in this match in particular, just all the highs and lows were hit. But yeah, I wanted to give Rock and Austin that shout out. Like, if you know how last year they started doing matches for the WWE Hall of Fame, this will be in that category at some point. Absolutely.
Joel, what's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, man, I can't say it any better than that. Lou, you killed that. I actually was watching WrestleMania 17 recently because I started off watching the TLC match. Yeah. I was hanging out with my sister and her fiance has never watched any wrestling. And I was like, let's put this on real quick. We just put it on. It's on. The whole match is on YouTube, by the way. Shout out to the WWE Vault YouTube channel because they throw up all the gems all the time. Mm-hmm. And we watched the TLC match, and then from there I was like, all right, I gotta just go back and watch WrestleMania 17 in its entirety. And yeah, man, that match. First of all, WrestleMania 17 is almost like one of those things where you watch back and you're like, damn, we're never gonna get this again. Right. We're never gonna get the amount of signs in the audience, the amount of camera flash photography, man, just that. I miss that so much. The flash photography was such a cool visual. When you watch that TLC match and you just see the camera flashes popping all over, when Jeff Hardy gets that spear, that infamous spear, all you see is the camera flashes going crazy, and it just looks so freaking cool. And it's like, damn, we're never gonna get that again. It's too clean now. WWE in particular is so clean. Like the lighting is too bright. I miss the fog. I miss the the smoke filled air. I miss all of that, and I miss WrestleManias in an enclosed space. Like, it's awesome that WWE is to the point where they could fill out stadiums, 100,000 people, all that. More power to them. I'm glad that wrestling is as popular as it is now.
Bring it back to the Garden.
But man, those old WrestleManias hit so different just because of just because of that enclosed space, and the sound had nowhere to go, so the crowd was so hot, and just the difference in crowd, man. Like I would say the closest we have to those crowds now are AEW shows, where they're just like hot from beginning to end. But when you watch a WWE show, including WrestleMania, there's so many like lull moments, even for the crowd, where you could tell they're just waiting for like the finish. And it's so sad. Like just that in general is so sad. But then when you talk about that main event and the big turn at the end with Vince, it was one of those moments that was so shocking, especially as a kid, that it was just like, nah, they're not doing that. Like, where's the, like, you were waiting for the second shoe to drop. Like, and it's interesting because I've heard Austin talk about this, where he was like, damn, I wish I would have just gave Vince a stunner and not done the whole thing. Like, he's like, I wish I would have called the audible and just gave Vince a stunner. And it's like, damn, imagine we would have gotten that. Because it's kind of like we were waiting for that. We were waiting. Like, there's no way that Vince and Austin are working together. What the fuck? No way. It literally, like, it was soul crushing, like Lewis said, especially as a kid. And it's cool because you could tell that competitive rivalry between Rock and Austin, where they both wanted to be the top guy. And that's what just brought the best out of those matches. And like Lewis said, I don't think there's, like he said, it's not the best technical match, but I don't think there's a match that encapsulates the importance of WrestleMania as much as not only that match, but the 3 Austin Rock matches in their own right. It's just like, I don't think we'll ever get to the point where we could have a trilogy like that. Like we've seen Cody and Roman do the 2 matches so far. I'm sure they'll get a 3rd match eventually, but that's nowhere near what Rock and Austin was. Like that was magic in a bottle that I don't think we'll ever be able to recreate. So yeah, shout out to that match. I hope it does go into the Hall of Fame, and eventually Austin's gonna be in the Hall of Fame like 15 times because there's so many matches that he could be, that his so many of his matches that could be thrown in there. So there's really cool shout out by you, Lewis. It made me reminisce a lot about it today as well as we were talking. So yeah, great. If anyone listening has never seen that, please go watch it. Oh yeah, please.
Yeah, man. I gotta tell you, I'm looking at it now. I got it on a different screen, and like you said, Joel, the feeling of or seeing the flash bolts go off and the enclosed space, different. And like you said, the sound and the cheering has nowhere else to go but just to travel amongst that stadium or that arena is amazing. That's like we'll never get that again unless they do, unless they go back inside for a reason or whatever. But I'm watching it now. crowd is hyped right now. Austin and Rock, like you said, Lewis, don't stop. They are going at 100 miles per hour and don't stop. They didn't let their foot off that gas at all. But good stuff. We'll do these WrestleMania flashbacks as we get closer to this to WrestleMania 42 in Vegas, y'all. But listen, this is on the Mark Wrestling Podcast, episode 124, y'all. Fellas, any final thoughts before we close out here?
No final thoughts other than everyone be safe out there. Lots of craziness going on, but just stay truthful and loveful and all that good stuff. Loveful. I don't even know if that's the word. All the fools. Just love. Just spread love, basically.
Spread the love.
Spread love. It's the Brooklyn way.
Yep.
How about you, Joel?
Just shout out to all the fans. Got a lot of people hitting me up recently saying how much they love the show. So I love that.
Nice.
Keep making sure to follow us, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. We really appreciate the conversations we have back and forth with everybody, with our fans. And there's voicemails you could send us and all that. So please interact.
Yes. Listen, y'all, this is On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, episode 124. Until next time, y'all, we'll probably come back with a Revolution pre-show. Kind of see what this card looks like, how it shapes up. It's looking pretty good. Looking stacked. We'll get to that next week. Until next time, y'all. Peace.
You have just listened to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, a Scriptly adapted production. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube at On the Mark Wrestling. And email us on onthemarkpodcast@gmail.com.